Hey everyone, MTast here, and as I said before in a video just the other day, I'm really excited for some of the changes they're making to Armor 2.0. I'll go over that in a minute again very quickly, but I wanted to talk about characters and stats in the game and how they could improve the armor and mod system to make someone like myself that likes to min-max much happier, and I'm sure help out a lot of your builds. Now, I play Titan a lot. This is my main class. I played it probably 3 to 4 times any of the others. And so my gear on the Warlock and the Hunter is falling behind. I understand that. That's not Bungie's fault. That's my fault. I don't have any amazing rolls on these guys compared to my Titan, but that's what triggered me and tilted me. I jumped on and I played on my Warlock and my Hunter the other day, and I was looking at my stats, and they're fine, they're good, they've got a mixture of stats here and there, and if I really want to max out recovery or max out mobility, I can do that. But then I started looking at my Titan, and this is where I know that a lot of you are going to have a problem as well. I've got a ton of different Masterwork pieces of gear. I've got helmets, I've got multiple gloves, I've got multiple chest pieces, I've even got some boots. I've got multiple pieces of gear, and the same problem keeps happening. These stats in the middle. Now, you only get a boost to your cooldowns or your shield capacity or your health regeneration if you hit the next level. So you can see I'm 69. Nice. I'm 69 resilience out of 100, or 6.9 out of 7, let's just say. I'm almost to that next level, but unless I get one more stat, this does no benefit. So the difference between 60 and 69 is nothing. But the difference between 60 and 70 is quite a bit. And I find that this happens a lot. You have a bunch of roles where this is doing nothing, this is doing nothing, that's doing nothing, this is doing nothing, this is doing nothing, and this is doing nothing. Now, the mod system allows you to add a mod in and hopefully fix some of these deficiencies and get you some stats that you want, but I still find this a little frustrating. In situations like this, I can add a recovery mod and I can get up to level 10, but then I know in my little brain, 4 of those stats are over the limit. 4 of those stats are actually higher than I need, and the min-maxer in me gets a little bit tilted. And I can do multiple combinations. I can change out my armor and chests, and I have this problem over and over and over again. And I know you're having this problem over and over and over again. So I'm wondering if one of 2 things could change that would make a big improvement to this system overall, and it would stop the frustrations that I'm having almost entirely. What if they did this? On a mobility stat, or a resilience, or any of them, what if there was a stat in between? So at 45, I would get a bonus, and then at 50, and then at 55, and then 65. So all of a sudden, this resilience is more valuable. My recovery is just over one of the other ones. I need just a little bit more discipline. This one, I would need just a little bit more. But at least I would have some sort of value being in those in-between stats. Then, in those situations where you're just about there, you don't feel so greasy and dirty about it. Because I find with many of the stat thresholds, I either blow past it or I just hit it. And if I am blowing past it, that is stats that I feel are being wasted. You know, I can have 9 intellect that is literally doing nothing. If they would just add something in between, at least some of it would have value. But right now, I have a lot of situations where I get frustrated with these little stats that are doing relatively nothing. And then you need to find these perfect combinations to max out. Now, if I look at this armor here, I've got a setup right here. Is that the one? Oh, here, hold on. I got to change this mod here because I thought that this was pretty interesting. So if I go like this and I look at this piece, I'm able to masterwork this, and I'm actually able to max out my recovery. and I'm able to max out, or not max out, but get another level of my mobility. So masterworking here would actually have a pretty damn big impact on my build. I could throw in another mod for whatever stats, and this roll right here, this stat is going to be pretty good because I've got maxed out recovery. My resilience is high enough to tank many of the annoying things like the thorn, headshot, body shot. 50 resilience is pretty much as you want. And then I've got some decent other stats. I mean, even my discipline, that's pretty damn good. And so this build right here, I'm really happy with. I can change this down the road into a void arm piece, and I'm laughing. I'm a happy camper. But this situation here is very rare, when I can actually do something to my build to hit those next levels. Masterworking this, I know, will get me to that next level to min-max and make it feel nice and good and sexy. But then I looked at it again and I realized, well, if they had that one in the middle, right? If they had it at 45, this would get another stat too, and it would feel even better. I would love if increasing these stats and finding that boot with a huge roll on it, or that arm piece with an awesome roll, I wish it felt valuable more often, because these are relatively rare. Getting these boots, I was freaking out. I was like, oh my god, this roll's amazing. But it didn't really change all that much, because even though I have a little bit more intellect and a little bit more discipline and a little bit more recovery, in a lot of cases, it doesn't actually change these values. So yes, I did get more stats. And if I found a chest piece with a little bit more, and an arm with a little bit more, and a helmet with a little bit more, I understand that I would get more stats overall. But I feel like many of these upgrades, even though I am improving, I'm not actually seeing that improvement. It requires a lot of little improvements to get one tiny incremental change. So, as I said again, to clarify, I would love to see maybe some steps in the middle so that those little upgrades feel like you're actually getting stats and value. Because in the case of something like this bad boy, right? Let me just masterwork this. Well, maybe not masterwork it, because I'm going to change the element on it, but I'm just going to go like this here. Look at this change here. So I've got well, I didn't even need to. God, I'm so stupid. Look at this. 34% recovery rate. It jumps all the way to 43. That's 9 more percentage. That's 9 more percentage for 2 little stats, right? Half it. Half that incremental upgrade. Put a little bit in between so that having 98 recovery actually has some value. I think that is the ultimate fix. But here's another little thing I thought of. We've got a bunch of mods in this game, and I understand maybe we don't want to have 9 million mods, but with these stat mods, this gives you 10. I would love to pay 4 and have a mixture. +5 strength, +5 intellect, +5 mobility, +5 recovery. Have some hybrid stats so that in situations like this, I would be able to just fix that with a mod. If we go back to some of these other armor pieces, I could get an extra tick there and an extra tick there. Maybe an extra tick here and an extra tick there. And it would be such a nice quality of life being able to add those hybrid mods so that instead of completely blowing past something like this resilience where I'm going to be going all the way to 79, I could just get over that threshold. Just get over that threshold here, just get over that threshold here, and get that value. Now, if they just did the hybrid stats, that would be an amazing change. But if they could do both of them, where you're getting the hybrid mods to perfect and min-max, but also value from those kind of mid-tier points like this 85, if that had just a couple more recovery rate, if that went up to 31 or 32 even, well, let's say 31 just to be fair, God, it would make this armor system amazing. I would feel value in things. I would probably pay a little bit more attention to my armor, because as it sits right now, all I want to do is max out my recovery, and once I've done that, I actually don't care as much about the armor, because I understand that I need to not only get higher base stats overall, I also need them to roll in very similar slots to make sure I can keep control of my recovery. And that is something that I would love to see. hybrid mods and some mid-tier points and mid-tier improvements on that gear so that as I'm looting up and doing raids and all these activities, I'm actually getting some bang for my buck in the armor. That's pretty much it for me though, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Make sure to check out MTash Mango Splash, okay? Focus. Oh, it's amazing. Code MTASH at checkout for 10% off, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye-bye.